And let's see.
Yeah,
Oh, we are live.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, we hope you had a fantastic holiday. This is our third live we've ever done, and we haven't done one for quite some time now. So,
First of the new year, and hopefully the first of many this year.
yes, exactly. Let me see here. Cool.
Yeah, my news also.
All right. There we go. Is it working for you? No,
yeah, it is.
All right, so we'll stumble through this. There we go.
So how was everybody's Christmas and New Year? Ours was homebound.
Yes, hopefully everybody can hear us. Let's see if I can do a little test here. Yep, okay, we have some volume. That's good. Yeah, homebound. That's yeah, it wasn't by choice.
No.
Unfortunately, we had some illness that I had brought home, and it went through the house, and
His fault.
I don't know how I got it. I don't know if I got it at work or if it was something that maybe I pushed myself too hard, because it was basically back on December 5th, I think it was. I come home from work, and on the way home, I stopped and picked up some used snow tires for my truck. And in my head, I thought I was going to get everything changed over that night, so I switched the tires, and it was getting late. Of course, it was pretty dark at that time and cold, and it just felt like the chill just got right deep into my bones. And by the time I was done, I couldn't wait to get inside. And I think that's maybe what triggered. Maybe I was at a weakened state, or maybe that weakened me enough to catch something. But it was pretty bad anyway. Basically took me a good 3.5 weeks to ditch whatever it was, and everybody else in the house unfortunately caught it.
Yeah, he was fighting it for a good week before our youngest caught it, and then a few days later, the other three caught it, and I was just fighting it along the way, but eventually took me down too.
Yeah, it was not nice at all. And everybody recovered before I did, so it's kind of one of those weird things. So we thought we'd basically during this live, hopefully we'll have some few people drop in here, and we'll do some Q&A if they choose to, or hopefully have some interaction. Since we don't do very many lives, we know that people don't expect us on, so we're not expecting a big turnout, but hopefully we get a few.
Yeah, we're hoping to find a rhythm and set a certain day and time.
Yeah, we're kind of experimenting. We think that Sundays probably at 4 o'clock works best for our schedule, but as we know that it is fairly early in the day for most people to be sitting down and watching YouTube. But it's what we've got to work with. Cause,
yeah, if you turn it on while you're preparing dinner, fantastic.
yeah, definitely join us even through dinner. So we basically want to recap our year and hopefully talk a little bit about what we plan to do next year. And hopefully everybody stays healthy in the new year. So if you have any comments, please drop them in. If you want to let us know where you're from, we'd love to hear that as well. But basically, back the year in review. So what do we want to start with?
Okay, what did we accomplish in 2024?
Good question. I also want to mention, before we get into that, just for anybody that drops in that is not regular to our channels, we are on 1 acre. So we don't have a lot of space. It's just 1 acre outside of the town, and we'll go over what we do with that. Oh wow! welcome from Kansas, 9 Acre Farms.
Hello.
Great to see you guys. You guys are professionals when it comes to this stuff, but we are not. So if you have any tips for us during the show, if you're around very long, let us know what we can be doing different. So yeah, we just on the 1 acre and the year in review. So what do you want to start with?
The aviary. We built an aviary using the lean-to, I don't know what you call it, lean-to on one of the mini barns, and Bert closed it in with poultry netting, I guess.
Yeah, so we the one lean, it's about 10 by 16, and we built half walls, and then the top half of the walls we used I guess it was hardware cloth. Sorry, it wasn't coming to me right away. There must be some hardware cloth. So we did that to keep some animals that we started with this year, and that is the pheasants, which we picked up four chicks very early in the spring. We had no idea what they were, males or females. We couldn't tell. They couldn't tell us, and we fortunately, out of the four, we ended up with one female. So we do have 3 males and 1 female. Not exactly the numbers we were hoping for, but thankfully we still got 1 female. So that's hopefully we'll grow that this year. No professionals here. Oh, good point. Do you mind if we make you a moderator, just in case you're around, and not that we expect to have a lot of excitement.
So also in the aviary, we added some chickens for my entertainment.
I have to figure out how to do that.
You do that. We added 3 Polish chickens and ended up with 2 hens and a rooster, I believe, and 3 silky chickens and ended up with 1 hen and 2 roosters.
Oh.
They're fun to watch.
I cannot remember how to create a moderator on this what is this StreamYard, but I'll have to figure that out. I was so involved, focused on what I was doing, I missed what you were saying. Sorry about that.
I was just mentioning my funny-looking chickens.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Very.
They're
they're cute.
That's what they are. They're not meat birds. They're way too small for that. They're just cute and funny, and hopefully we'll be able to hatch eggs and sell chicks.
Yeah, just another little source of income.
There's not a whole lot of them around the area.
No, it's one of those weird things like silkies, Polish. I don't know if maybe they're harder to incubators. I don't know what the reason would be, but it's not a lot of them. I guess you don't get big eggs from them either, or they're not a big bird, so maybe people just don't care to have them as much as others. But
actually, I can show.
Yeah, because Cindy's been collecting her eggs.
These are
yeah, those are what we get from the barred rock.
And this is a silky egg.
Yeah, so I'd have to eat a lot of those.
Smaller.
Yeah, fairly big difference. So that's what we built that aviary for. I would love to make another one this year, probably about the same size. I think that'd be fantastic. To the phone. I think I will do that.
Okay, I'll talk.
Yeah, please.
2024 was great for the garden because I got a bunch of raised beds, and I love them. We did really well with cucumbers, which we'd never done before. We did great with a lot of the greens and the pole beans, the squash. Everything did great in the raised beds, especially because we have flooded a couple times, and everything that was in the ground, a few things survived, but most things didn't because we're in clay and it just saturated the ground and there was nowhere for the water to go. The raised beds at least allowed some of that water to flow away and kept my plants alive. So I got a bunch more raised beds to work with this coming year, or this year actually, and I'm very excited for that.
Yes, and did you explain why though? Why
the flooding?
Well, no, why we went with the raised beds.
The flooding? What do you mean? Because we're in clay.
Yes, we're in clay.
Yes.
Sorry. So along with Bill,
Are you also in clay? Hello, Nana 9 Acres. Thanks for joining us.
Oh wow, it's nice to see some familiar faces.
Yeah.
I am very.
Hi, Joey.
I'm not super good at this, guys, so bear with me here.
Well, you managed to make me moderator?
I did on the phone.
Awesome.
Dale told me to go to the phones. That worked.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
All right. So also in 2024, we got some new birds, which we mentioned some of them. We mentioned the pheasants, the Polish chickens, and the silkies for the aviary. We also got Canadian breast or American breast chickens, and we got those loud honkers at the front.
What? Okay, so you guys probably can't picture our property, but like I said, we don't have a big space, so we use every part of it. So the front yard I fenced in, and we started there with pigs,
Yeah.
and that did not go so well because it just got to be a total disaster out there, and
Yeah, it gets wet and they're heavy and it just becomes
yeah.
a bunch of muck.
So basically, did away with the pigs and grew grass again, and fenced it all off. And I decided to pick up some American buff geese, and Cindy just absolutely adores them.
Yeah, they're
They're her
awesome.
favorite thing on the little
They'd be awesome on the
acreage
dinner
here.
table.
Yeah, so they may find their way to the plate because we don't know, since they're one of those breeds that look the same, male female. We have no idea what we have. Yes, you guys have noticed I made you. If you don't want to be a moderator, that's fine too. You can just let me know. But because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just labeling everybody, everybody that I recognize anyway. So yes, ringneck pheasants is exactly what we have. So we're hoping that we can get them producing. I know they don't lay a pile of eggs, but we hope that one hen will get us started, and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna probably try eating because neither one of us are really familiar with the taste. Like we eat quail all the time and things like that, but the pheasants we haven't taken one of the males yet and sent it to freezer camp. So we're probably going to try that so we know what we've got, and then
But they're not that large, so we should
well,
really
they're not
consider
big, but
the geese.
what else?
I don't know. I really just want to do away with the geese.
You don't like them geese, I know.
They hiss at me and they try to bite me.
I find Cindy's goats very loud and annoying, but I don't complain about them.
But they're being friendly. They're not being mean.
All I do is feed them right now. They don't do anything for me, but so the intention is to milk the goats, of course. But
yeah.
We just don't have anything that's we can do that with at the moment.
Not yet. What else did we do in 2024? Looking at our little notes
Yeah,
here.
we made some notes so we didn't totally have too much silence.
So we had the fence for the geese, and we decorated them with a whole bunch of signs.
Yeah, we put a pile of signs on the fence, and a lot of them we find them very cute and funny. There's some that are meant for a laugh, and there's other ones that are meant to be thought provoking. There's some that are kind of a little bit of scripture on them, so it's a nice little combination, and it gives some entertainment for people when they come in to buy eggs, and at least we hope it does.
Yeah, we think people are watching them because they back out of the driveway very, very slowly, so we think they're reading the signs.
If you have any good recipes for the pheasant ale, please let me know, because that'd be handy. Kind of off topic a bit. One of the things I'm doing different this year. I started this year is I'm eating differently, so I'm eating a lot more meat and things like that. I'm kind of going to a keto type diet just to try it out because I'm a heavy guy. I'm over 300 pounds. It doesn't show a lot on me, but I am. So the joints and everything feel it, and my plan is to. Pheasants are great.
Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Hello,
Wow.
Not for Nothing Homestead.
Hi, guys.
And anybody I might have missed.
Yeah, hopefully we're catching everybody
We're
here.
not used to having this many people.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, my hope is to take down a bunch of the weight that I carry, and so having that meat will be nice.
So we're learning a whole new way of cooking and different grocery shopping, and it's going to affect the way the garden's planned this year. A lot more leafy greens and less of other things that he can't have so much of.
Yeah, plan things a little different and hopefully get still a lot of free stuff from the garden and things like that. But what else did we do? I did the flagpole this year. I know Dale, I saw you had commented on it. I appreciate that. It's actually held up very well. I was a little concerned because I wasn't sure. We get a lot of wind here, and I thought, well, is this thing actually going to stay up? But it's been solid. It's been really solid for just using galvanized fencing. The only thing I kind of wish I did, I don't know if it would have held, would be to have painted it white before I put the pole up. And I could take it down and do that, but I don't know how well it would stick to the galvanized steel anyway. But I thought that was a nice little project to have done.
Yeah, it was nice, and we had our Christmas lights going up the pool.
Yeah, it was
all along that new fence. It was cool. Another thing we tried this past year was the Jerusalem artichoke. We did feature that in the video. We still haven't used it very much.
No,
we tried it out. It's good.
It's very keto friendly, so that's good. But and it grows like crazy. I'm sure a lot of you guys have some experience with it, but it's one of those, one tuber just turns into a whole 5-gallon pail. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're going to be overwhelmed this year with the ones that pop back up that we missed, and a few that we threw back in there. But they are in a couple of wooden raised beds, so hopefully it'll be contained that way.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, got distracted pushing buttons.
We got pickles.
Yes.
Nice sweet little pickle.
And the reason we got Pickles, who is our resident
Nigerian dwarf billy
goat, is we lost Terry. Wasn't it Terry?
Yes.
Was the name? The goats are Cindy's. I like them, but they are really her thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was sad to lose Terry, but Pickles is adorable, and he's the only one we have with blue eyes, which is kind of neat. And we're just waiting for him to show that he's old enough to breed, and hopefully we'll have some babies this year.
Yeah. Yeah, Dale. It grows like crazy. It's a member of the sunflower family, and it gets these little yellow flowers on it. It's beautiful, and then right around the frost. Yeah. I think it's shortly after the frost you harvest it, and it's goat meat is good. I've been pushing for that.
You have.
I have been pushing for that. We probably have to get into the regular size goats and to make the most of it. But I have said that to Cindy. I said, why don't we just weather a few bucks and use that.
For friends. I can't.
I can't. It's got to be, I don't know, it's probably a different taste, but it wouldn't be much different than I would imagine than, hanging a deer or something. So, yeah. And
about the Jerusalem artichoke, if you're looking for them, they have many names.
Yeah, sunchokes. Yeah. There's a pile of different names. I think Jerusalem artichoke's the official name. Or
one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Our trees. Last year we planted a whole bunch of trees in 2 days, 1 day. I don't know, it was crazy.
It was like the hottest days of the summer.
It was too.
Crazy hot, and
we had to haul buckets of water to each one.
Yeah, we picked up white cedars, I believe, white cedars.
And most of them are doing really well still.
Yeah, we put 50 of them in. The year before we did 40, and we've been basically just going around the perimeter of the property, just trying to create some of it's for privacy and some of it's just for windscreen. So
yeah, we did it all on the front. Even though there's a fence there, it will eventually fall down or get replaced with the farm fence. So we started those off. We did it in the back and the side.
Yeah, everywhere. Other than that, we planted some. What was the one they used for the syrup? Oh, elderberry.
Oh,
yeah, elderberry. They did very, very well here too.
Yeah, first good year for them.
Yeah. So the evergreens, that little project I did out front on that coop. I don't know if you guys ever saw the video. You may or may not have, but I had an issue where I use just because of building permits and things like that. In the one area for the one bunch of chickens we have, I use a 25-foot long wire coop, and then I just wrap it with tarp and windscreen and things like that. And was it the last year or the year before, it caved in on me in a snowstorm, just from the weight of the snow, just one of those heavy snows. And I managed to straighten it back out, and I put some 2x4s down the center and held it up. And then this year, before the snow came, we put some plywood on the roof, just underneath the tarp, just to give it something firm
for the snow to
slide off on it. It worked very well so far. Now we don't have much snow right now, thankfully, but it comes and goes, and at some point it'll stay for a while. But
yeah, it's so far so good.
So far
we haven't had a ton of snow, but we've probably had enough that it would have shown.
Yeah, because we had some pretty heavy stuff for a bit there.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
Let's see. Our Jack is still kicking,
Yeah,
and he's turning 14 years old on the 22nd.
yeah. We have 2 dogs. One is an old black lab that we've had since before we got together, and you know, he's kicking along. 14. He doesn't come in the house anymore. We used to let him in, but he just can't do the stairs anymore. So we keep him outside. But what we've done for him is we actually heat his dog house, and he comes out of it to eat, use the washroom, and kind of just goes right back in. So he's just living his best life that he can at this point in time, anyway. And the other one, Max, is a Great Pyrenees.
He's a sweetie.
He just loves the cold weather anyway. So
he's our gentle giant.
yeah.
Okay, well, we've discussed some of the animals on our homestead. So on our 1 acre or less, actually, 0.93 of an acre, we've got the geese, we've got ducks.
Yeah.
We have how many chickens?
Somewhere between 80 and 90, I want to say.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
We have the pheasants. We have quail, which is providing us with a lot of eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, the chickens really slowed down, but the
Yeah.
quail, fortunately, they just kind of keep on putting out eggs, which is really good for us.
Yeah. We have our goats, our 2 dogs, and about 15 rabbits. 10 of them meat rabbits and 5 of them Holland lops that we breed for selling as pets.
Yeah. Yeah, Dale, we have a lot on. Everybody's always surprised when they come and they look around. We get a lot of people to stop we have people that come and buy eggs, and the only reason they really come to buy eggs is so they can, it's almost like they treat our place like a petting zoo. If that makes any sense. It's like they want to,
which is fine.
they make conversation, and they just kind of ask, might we look around, or some of them will every once in a while say, hey, can we bring our kids next time and see whatever. So it's neat. It doesn't bother us.
No. And it's really just looking, because most of the animals aren't there for petting.
Yeah, exactly.
The birds don't want to be fed.
No.
Speaking of eggs, you guys, a lot of you have chickens, I'm sure. Anybody else have like almost 0 eggs for a while?
Yeah, it's pretty bad for.
We're just starting to pick back up a little bit.
A little bit, not great.
What did you say? We had 70 to 80 birds? No, 80 to 90 chickens, and we got down to like getting 7 eggs a day for a while.
Yeah, we're finally getting back up to about a dozen.
Yeah.
About a dozen a day. That's still not much considering we have a lot of freeloaders out there.
So we've been relying on quail, and we sell chicken eggs, and the back orders are they piled up.
Yeah.
We've had to tell people sorry, all out.
Yeah, it normally works out well for us. The chicken eggs, believe it or not, normally we sell enough chicken eggs, and Cindy also raises Holland lop rabbits for pets, and we don't sell them for a lot of money. We sell them pretty cheap. But doing that tends to cover all the feed for everything else, the hay and the feed that we buy, which is kind of nice. Then it's just the labor.
Yeah, I've been reading all over Facebook and the internet that everyone's saying their egg supply went way down, and our ducks, they're completely on strike. If it's like last year, they'll be that way for months.
Yeah, exactly. What do we got?
What do we have? Well, plans for this
Plans
year.
for 2025. Oh, be healthy. That'd be a nice one. Like I said, December was horrible.
Healthy, weight loss.
Yeah, feel better. The big thing, like I said, I'd like to do an aviary. I'd also like to do something small, like a small lean-to, just to park the little tractor in, that I can don't have to keep it in the garage so much, just so it's not in the sun or the weather. Yeah, it's worked out well for us, Dale. We keep a spreadsheet, and like right this time of year, obviously we're running more of a deficit, but once they get laying heavy again, we should be able to recoup that. And
it's coming up on spring where we sell hatching eggs, and we hatch chicks.
Yeah, Cindy wants to actually start hatching earlier this year.
Last year it felt like we had chicks in March, was it? And it just felt like we were running behind. People were already looking for things earlier than that.
Yeah, try to get ahead of the farm stores, I guess, and stuff too, because they tend to get them in. And it's funny because the one store near us that carries chicks, um, the town they're in, they're not even allowed to have chickens. It's kind of like I said to the people at the store, I said, "Is it even worthwhile for you guys to have these things?" He goes, "Well, I suppose people come outside of town, but it just seems funny to me."
I don't like those rules.
No, too many rules.
For me this year, I want to redesign the layout of the garden, and we already started that, and I'm excited. There's going to be walking space because last year it was all weaving in and out around fruit trees, and we tried the food forest idea, but I kind of like rows and paths, so I'm excited to have
Yeah, it's gonna
rows to walk.
it's a little it wreaks havoc on your OCD if you have it, but um, it'll be a little more work in some ways because now the idea is what I'll do is I'll be cutting the grass and let the grass grow and cut it in between all the raised beds.
More
And
raised beds.
yeah, because I don't remember how many we have now, but yeah, just have that. You guys sell them too, Dale, or just hatching for yourselves, like? Go on here for a second.
What kind do you hatch?
Can't remember if he had the breast chickens or.
Because we'll be doing the barred rock and the breast, and hopefully the silkies and the Polish hens.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. Oh, is that right? Wow.
Good for you.
That is cool.
That's a nice setup.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. That's
Nice.
okay. Yeah, copper morans. What's your favorite breed? We've kind of stuck mostly with the barred rocks, but so we like to have something that's dual purpose for sure.
We really like the what do we have first? What was it called?
Oh, they called them Isa Browns, but they were one of those ones that are genetically created to lay eggs.
Yeah, so we couldn't hatch our own, but they are good layers.
We did hatch eggs from them. They just don't come out to be the same bird. You don't know what
No.
you don't exactly know what you're gonna get.
We got all of egg layers from them.
Yeah, but
they're good layers.
But I was gonna say they were good layers. Did get that gene still. What else we got?
The blue copper morans. What color egg is it? Is it a dark egg or?
I feel like they are a dark egg, but I'm not.
It sounds like it would be.
I'm not 100% sure either.
I like the different colors that the eggs come in.
Yeah.
We don't have any blue layers anymore, but we still have a few olive and dark brown and light brown.
Well, we still have some Easter eggers.
Yeah, they just haven't laid any.
Not as much right now. Yeah. Production red cross with Morans. Okay.
I've never heard of production red.
No, me neither. But
sounds like good layers.
Yeah, it could just be another different dark chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
They're a little harder for canneling, though. I imagine. It's a little tough to see.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll have some geese hatching their own eggs because I'm not going in there.
Yeah, the geese. The idea is that hopefully we'll get a little revenue from them as well. To buy them around here, like even the goslings are about $50 each. It's pretty crazy. So hopefully we'll get more than one hen under that group of 5.
Yeah, because we're still not sure.
We started with 6, and unfortunately we went out the one day, and the one had somehow got its head because we have within their compound we also have a little electric netting that we're using to contain the ducks and stuff, and the one got itself wrapped up pretty good in netting the one day during the night, I guess, and strangled itself.
It wasn't very bright because I had already rescued it the day before, and yet it went back. But your geese,
Oh, you're not being very nice.
they hiss at me. I don't like having
Anything that hisses, Cindy
Hisses
just automatically
bites
has a hatred for. It doesn't matter what kind of animal it is. If it hisses,
What good animal hisses?
It's not for her.
Yep.
So on a different topic, I'm growing my hair because Cindy got me a beard kit. Yeah, for Christmas. So test that out.
Something different.
Yeah, just in time for summer. Maybe.
Well, I'm usually the one that says I want clean shaven, but he likes to grow a little something, so I thought, oh, let's try this thing. I keep hearing beard oil. I have no idea what any of this stuff is, but little kit that came with a brush and comb and oil and cleanser.
Yeah, it's a little something.
And I got this.
Yes, because she is always cold.
Yep.
But what else did we do? We did a lot of we did some teas this year.
We did what?
Teas.
Oh, teas. Yeah, I want to do a lot more this coming year, like this year. Dry a lot more leaves for the mints and all that.
Okay, he has a monthly auction. Wow. So is that like because he gets so many, or does he actually go to these auctions, or is it that he has so many birds he auctions them off? That's the way it reads to me anyway, that he actually auctions off these birds. That's a lot of birds if you have to auction every month.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, any of you guys in that snow belt that's going, or that snowstorm that's going through the U.S.? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be good for everyone else too. Just take your birds and have auctions.
Yeah, there's something similar to that around here. It's a small animal auction. Well, it's about an hour from us. We've never actually gone, but I for some reason I always assume that anything there is stuff that people are probably trying to get rid of for maybe for not a good reason. But yeah, that might not always be the case either. There's one couple hours away that we want to get to, but everything seems to be on a weekday, and that doesn't really work for my work schedule. Okay, so I wonder, it's probably the same idea with production red. I wonder if that's similar to this Isa Brown thing, because they all have the same sort of the name that they use for their genetically produced birds or whatever. But because there's a couple of variations around here, just depending on which what do you call it, hatchery wasn't coming to me. Where they come from?
I had no idea.
At the mercy of the local feed store. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
they have a good selection usually.
The one near us, what they call the PV Mart, used to be in Canada. It used to be called TSC stores or Tractor Supply. They've all gone to PV Mart the last couple of years, but they usually carry about 6 different breeds. Okay, so you are getting that. We saw some stuff on the news about that.
Yeah, hopefully your power stays on.
Yeah, it's, some of the states would be very.
They have warnings out for
power. I think summer is a state of emergency already. That's kind of scary. Yeah. I imagine some of these places further south definitely wouldn't be set up to deal with the real cold weather. But and we're fortunate right now. We're not getting anything at the moment. North of us, a few hours northeast of us, they were getting it last few days, and then we saw the band going through the U.S. that looked pretty nasty.
We can't really complain about the weather so far this year.
No, not so far.
Probably a little more snow than we had this time last year, but
It started earlier, yeah.
not bad.
Okay, what else we got to talk about?
That's our notes.
That was our notes.
That's it.
Oh man.
Now we're winging it.
Yeah, now we're in trouble. That 10 killer meetup. 10 killer meetup. Not familiar with that. Love to be able to go to some of these meetups. We listen to the different channels, and especially in the lives and stuff, and you guys talk about some of these meetups you get to go to, and it sounds fantastic. We'd have to find something probably either northern Michigan or somewhere in Ontario to keep it within a decent driving distance, but there doesn't seem to be a lot that comes up.
No, it feels like we're in the middle of nowhere when it comes to this
to that kind of stuff.
Even though there's a lot of homesteaders around us, just not a lot of community activities, I guess.
Yeah, it's more the population's denser in this part of the province, so you don't get those, I guess, that kind of meetups and stuff happen. You get farther north and into the more of the wilderness type areas, and they do have these meetups and stuff. Oklahoma, okay.
Yeah,
that would be a long trip. I'd love to make it. We miss traveling. We used to do trips, a little bit of trips down to Tennessee, and slipped over to Alabama the one time. We enjoy.
Literally.
Yeah.
We just crossed the state line.
Cindy said to me, she goes, I've never been to Alabama. And I had been. I said to her, well, I said, there's the sign. I said, let's just go. And we literally just crossed in. I don't even know if we went anywhere. Crossed in and kind of worked our way back out to the area that we were actually going to. I think we were going to another part of Tennessee, but
check.
Yeah, I said, now you say you were there.
Yeah.
Last time we went down, we went to Gatlinburg.
Yeah, that's a nice area.
Yeah.
That was before the fires.
Oh, yeah, it could have been. At that time, we drove through the Smokies and came out in, I think it was North Carolina, and wore the brakes out on the minivan. But
saw some bears.
Yeah, it was a good trip. But
before that, we were in Nashville, not on that trip, but the other time we were in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Then we accidentally went to Pennsylvania one time.
Well, yeah. We didn't accidentally go to Pennsylvania.
No, not accidentally. It was a funny story because I was pricing out something to do with the kids. This was a few years ago, and I was looking up Sesame Park, and I'm going through the process of pricing everything out, and I got to the end, and I thought it would give me a total, because I wanted all my information.
It did.
And but it wasn't really telling me what the total cost was going to be. And when I went to click next page, thinking it was going to give me a total and then a finalized okay type thing, it literally just went.
Next page.
Everything was purchased, and
it
was no refunds, and I'm like, oh. So I said to Cindy, I said, okay, I guess we have to.
It's like, we're going to Pennsylvania this weekend.
Start looking for a room. But yeah, it was a nice trip.
It was fun.
Yeah,
we had a 2-day pass to Disney Park, but we only used 1 day of it.
Oh no.
Or Disney.
Sesame Park. Park. Yeah, we haven't taken the kids to Disney. No. Love to do that drive again too, but that's I haven't made that one in quite some time. North Georgia. Yeah, Georgia's one of those. Every time I used to drive down to Florida, I'd hit Georgia and I'd think, okay, 6 more hours till I get through, because it's just one of those states. It's so huge, eh? It's just wow, beautiful area. But pecan signs? I think is it peaches and pecan signs you see everywhere. It's neat. It's neat. Something you don't see here. So unplanned trips. Yeah, Dale. It's just kind of go by the seat of your pants, and
It's a good story now.
yeah,
We wouldn't have gone otherwise.
yeah. Well, we thought we'd like to go down to like the plan at one time was to go check out like possibly Hershey or some of the Amish Mennonite communities down there, but yeah, it was just not the trip we had exactly expected, but it was still a good time. The kids had fun. That was right before the world went crazy there, so
Yeah, and we were expecting our fourth child, so I couldn't do roller coasters or anything, so that wasn't so fun. But
it was fun for the kids, but
they went with Daddy.
yeah, I love roller coasters. It's the other reason I have to slim down. It's getting to the point now where I can barely get into the harnesses and stuff on the ride, so it's not. I don't want to lose that part of my life, even if I am getting old for it. And then, of course, having everything around here, even though we don't have a ton of stuff, we don't really have anybody to step in and take care of things either. There is a family nearby.
Yeah, they do that for hire.
Yeah, where the daughter started a business, and she'll actually come and take care of everything for you later down the way. But of course, that adds up.
It does. It's a really neat entrepreneurial idea, but yeah, it would add up quickly.
Yeah, good for her though. I mean, but it's one of those things you got to pay mileage plus her time plus plus, and it's like, ooh, do we really want to go? Yeah, and we had at one point thought we could have Cindy's brother look after things, but then I don't know if some of you guys probably remember he had a stroke. That was a few months ago now. I guess it's been a while, and so we can't ask that of him anymore. He's doing very well, but he wouldn't have that in him to take care of things.
Yeah, and we managed to figure out how to set things up so that we only had to feed the animals once a day, and we could step away.
I love the term, Dale. Fluffy, yes. I'm fluffy, squishy, however you want to say it. But yeah, my goal is to. I'd like to lose about 100 pounds at least, but because I think to get it down to what I consider not obese anymore, I'd have to lose about 100 and 130. So we'll see how that goes. But so far so good. I mean, it's only been 5 days on this new food plan, but
going in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's water right now. But
anybody out there done keto? Because we could use some recipes, and I tried a couple of keto breads and a lemon loaf. And
I first started looking into it, and I'm like, bacon and eggs. Oh, I could do bacon and eggs, like no problem. Of course, you are supposed to eat a lot of. I think half your intake is supposed to be the vegetables that you can eat, but
everything we can eat. Like I'm not doing keto, but everything on that diet that you can eat is appealing. But everything you can't, like, what are you going to replace it with?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. What do we have here?
He's just figuring out the.
I'm playing. I'm playing with the banners, guys.
Smash that thumbs up.
Smash that thumbs up.
Aaron Garvey's Keto Cook. Okay, thank you.
Keto Cook. Is that a YouTube channel or is that a book? I'm guessing it's YouTube.
Yeah. I will, thank you.
Yeah, I'll write that one down just to.
We picked up some keto books that somebody was giving away. I haven't had a chance to go through many recipes yet. It's hard to bake without regular flour for me so far.
Yeah, Cindy made me some stuff with coconut powder or coconut flour. It was, I won't say it wasn't bad, but between that and I think you used coconut oil as well, so it was just like a bit into it. It was just like almost overwhelming coconut, so a little more than I really enjoyed to have.
But the lemon loaf wasn't too bad.
The Shemina lemon loaf was good. It was strange. It almost had like not quite, but it resembled a cheesecake.
It was dense, but
it was-
the recipe did say to expect that.
Yeah, so that
Because
was,
a non-gluten flour ends up more dense, I guess.
yeah. Ideally, I'd love to try the almond flour, but it's just so pricey. It's so expensive.
I would love to find something that the whole family would like. We have 4 kids, and finding something that everyone can eat and would love to eat.
Cindy loves mealtime.
I used to like to cook.
Just loves it.
Yeah.
That's my sarcasm.
It used to be fun, but when you work on something and then you present it, and half the people don't want it.
Yeah.
Picky kids.
Yeah, they're not, I don't want to say they're spoiled, but they're,
No, just picky.
yeah, they've got their preferences. They're coming along though.
Yeah.
The youngest one started eating quail and chicken now. For the longest time, she wouldn't touch it. Now
And
she,
broccoli.
yeah, broccoli.
I love chicken and quail and broccoli.
Yeah.
Before it was just bread.
Yeah.
Bread and butter.
But the 7-year-old, he still loves his bread.
Yeah, he likes meat, but like meatballs and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but not so great stuff. But yeah, what else?
There's nothing left there.
What do you have planned this year? What else do you have planned?
Well,
What else do you have planned for me?
I have to learn a whole new way of cooking. The garden, new layout, new setup. Have to decide what to plant differently now. I want to get organized. Every year I want to get organized, but this is the year, right?
Yeah.
Declutter and organize.
Sometimes less is more, right? It's that get rid of some stuff, and the space has a lot of value.
Yeah.
I'm like a bowl in China shop too. I just can't deal with a lot of stuff around me. So.
Yeah, it's frustrating to bump into things.
Sourdough, yeah, I love sourdough.
I do have a sourdough starter that I've used in regular recipes, but never made a sourdough bread itself yet.
Yeah. Tried it. I love cornbread too, though.
Mm-hmm. Can't have corn.
No, can't have corn. Trying to stay away from bread period right now, but any pastas or breads or any carbs in general.
I got egg noodles thinking you could have that.
I'm trying to be fairly strict with it. I want to stick to it, see if it actually works. If I can get some results, and it won't be so hard to suffer through it. And not that, for the most part, really, when you think about it, when you're eating, steak or eggs or it doesn't sound that bad, really.
Yeah, you had a good lunch, right?
But there's a piece of pie that's been sitting in the fridge since New Year's. It's haunting me, and I keep asking her. I said, "Can somebody please eat that thing?" Because it's like.
And we've been working away at it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard for me.
Yeah.
But I just want somebody to make it go away, so it's not looking at me every time I open the fridge.
Willpower.
I think I'm doing pretty good,
yeah.
But everybody's around with their bags of chocolate, and fortunately, I got a little bag of Lindt chocolate prior to for Christmas, I guess, and like I said, I was pretty sick for about 3 weeks, and I didn't leave my chair for a couple of days, and I just sat there eating whatever whatever junk was nearby, and oddly enough, I still lost some weight during that time. I just wasn't well, I guess. But mine was gone, fortunately, because now I'd have to watch everybody else eat it. But they still all have theirs, and now I have to watch them eat their own.
Not our fault. You decided to start on New Year's Day.
The other day I was doing something, and I heard this crinkling behind my back, and I turned around. Cindy's got this little chocolate. She's like, and I'm looking at her, and she's like a deer in headlights, and I'm like, it's yours. She goes, I was trying to get it without you seeing. I'm like, don't worry about it.
You eat yours fast.
Yeah, well.
I like to make mine last.
Yeah, she makes the kids make theirs last too. Usually Halloween, they'll still have candy when Halloween comes around again because it's rationed. Yeah,
but they've been having it like almost every day. They get one or two of their treats. So it's not like they don't get it. But if I left it up to them, they'd just eat it all and have stomach aches.
Well, that's how you learn. What we got? We got about 10 more minutes here before we planned on shutting it down. Yeah, lots of babbling for me anyway. I talk a lot. Cindy always says, even when we do videos, Cindy goes, I said, "Why don't you do one today?" I can't do a video. I can't talk like that. She goes, it won't last very long. I'll be done in no time because I can't talk. And I can have no topic at all in a video and I can still babble. And it ends up being like, she's like, I can't, well, now I do the editing, but when Cindy used to do it, it was like, I can't shorten this thing anymore. You gotta stop talking. So I'm like, oh. So.
Yeah, for me, I need a topic.
Here's one for you guys. Anybody that's still here, if you have rabbits, what do you do for treating your ear mites? I've switched over lately. I've started using just olive oil, and I find it's working, and they seem to be improving. But I had one that got real bad before I caught it. But I just wonder if anybody's got any tips or tricks that they would use, because I don't want to get into commercial, medicated type stuff. If I can help it, I prefer to try to do as much what do you call it? Natural homeopathic type treatments as we can. But like I said, that is working, but it seems I don't want to come flaring back the second I stop either. So I was kind of curious.
So you've done coconut oil and olive oil and mineral oil.
Thanks, Dale. Yeah.
And they seem to work.
They work, but they don't seem to. It doesn't seem to keep it. I took all the cages out this year, and I torched them. I cleaned them really well and torched them, and they still came back. So
you've even tried drops of ivermectin.
I did try it, and I didn't like doing that, but I did try putting that just on them between the ears to see if that would kind of kill off anything from coming back, but it didn't.
And that's usually the meat rabbits, the New Zealand, California ones. I've never really noticed it in the lots.
Hydrogen peroxide in the dog's ears.
Okay.
Okay. I wonder. It might be worth a shot too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at least that would spray easier too, because the oil's kind of thicker and doesn't really spray with the peroxide. Might be easier to coat. Yeah, I might give that a shot sometime, Dale. Just as even as a precaution. Once I get it under control, it pretty much is now. Yeah. But it actually didn't take long at all to maybe not even a week, I guess.
Yeah, after the first application, you already see the difference.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to take long. It's just kind of like to eradicate it so it doesn't come back somehow. But I guess just if I can find an ongoing treatment, that's fine too. Just something that'll stop it from getting bad.
Anyone else have New Year's plans, resolutions?
Yeah, resolutions. Dale and I already have our fluffy man resolutions, but
is anyone good at keeping resolutions? Because I don't think many people are.
Okay. Okay. It's funny. I actually do that to myself if I get an ear infection. MB Heritage Farms. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's actually a solution. I use peroxide and water if I get any kind of ear infection at all. It seems to help that as well.
Yeah. Actually, we're probably a lot like the rabbits because I've used olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah, true. All right. What else you got? Anything?
This is done.
This is done? I keep looking at it like it's gonna jump. Something's gonna jump out at me, and I'm gonna suddenly have more to say.
Well, maybe, but we covered everything.
It's been really nice to see so many good, honest women. Hello, guys.
Hi, guys.
These guys are just down the road from us, literally.
Yeah, pretty close neighbors.
Yeah, pretty close. We could call them neighbors.
Yeah.
So we've been babbling now for, what is it, 55 minutes. So we're going to stay on here for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll call it quits for today. We're thinking we might try to do this on Sundays. Just it's about the only day that will work with my my work schedule, since I do shift work, and right now it's been pretty good. I've had a good long stretch of days, which was about a year that I was on a special project, but that's kind of coming to an end. I'll have to start rotating again. So the Sundays are the only day that will work out. So if we can manage to do that, we will. We have to kind of stick within this time range, because what we did is we dropped the kids off at my mother-in-law's, Cindy's mom's, and did our grocery shopping and did chores and some errands, and then
before we go pick them up.
we thought we'd do it live, because we try very hard to keep the kids off of any kind of. Yes, you do need to come. Yes. We try to keep the kids off the cameras, and as much as they'd love to be on, because they pretend they're on YouTube channels all the time.
There's our Minecraft.
Yeah, which I cannot watch that stuff. It just drives me bonkers.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they love it.
Ones.
They love it.
Yeah.
They'll watch these YouTube channels, and all they do is play Minecraft, and I'm just like, oh my god, what is that? How can you watch that? Yes,
Thank you
that's
so
right.
much for joining us.
6 p.m. Central, so 6 p.m. So are you going on at, like, in the next 10 minutes, Dale? Is that what that is? Trying to keep the time zone straight.
So, yeah.
6 p.m. Yeah, we're in Eastern, so is that 5 Eastern?
I'm not 100% sure.
I get so confused with these different channel times. We were hoping when we went to do this that we didn't overlap with anybody, and that we, because we try to sometimes catch Money Pit, and I can't remember what time they come on. I think they might be on maybe at 5.
5 or 6.
It's 4 there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but by the time you
Okay,
by the time you get your stuff done, yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah, we might
we'll try to catch some of it. We'll be picking up the kids, but
yeah.
catch them.
If we get back in time, we'll definitely try to tune in, or maybe we can get on one of the phones and try to.
Yeah, if we're quiet, it's because it's hard to hear stuff sometimes and respond in time.
Exactly.
So we'll do our best.
Yeah. So we got 2 more minutes. It's been really nice seeing so many people today.
Mm-hmm.
We tried this a couple times before, and obviously we didn't pick the best time of day either, and we had a few people show up, but not many. And it's hard to talk to yourself as much as I can talk. Yeah. Don't make fun. I'm trying to give you opportunity to jump in.
He's mastered it, but
with the gift of gab. It's funny.
No, you're not blocking me at all.
No? Well, just elbow me and jump in anytime. Yes.
I'm good. I'm very happy to see so many people.
Yes, it's really appreciated. And
thank you.
And it's coming to an end, and we've got the most people on right now that we've ever had on. So that is unfortunate. And hopefully next time we'll try to keep the same time next week. We'll see if we can find a way to make this work for us, just to keep some interaction going. So for now, I guess we'll say goodnight, guys, and really appreciate you coming out. And it was really great to see the names in the chat.
Yeah, this is a great way to start our first live of the new year.
Yes. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Stay healthy, and we hope to see you all again soon. Yes, bless your family too, Dale. Bless
all of you out there.
All of you out there. Stay safe in this weather, the storm you're getting. Hopefully it doesn't get too nasty for you. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Guys. Bye.
I think it stopped.
You have to click it.
I thought I clicked. And we might still be live. It says we're live, believe it or not. Wow. How can I mess this up anymore? I keep hitting end stream. Oh, here we go. End stream.
Confirm. Bye, guys.